So welcome along to our live stream this afternoon from Didsbury Cricket Club. We're all set to get underway. You're about to see the first ball with Nick Anderson, the Didsbury captain, bowling out short to Kieran Mayer, who is away very nicely with a single down to Liam Booth at long leg. 1-0. This is Widnes who are batting. They won the toss and batted today in this National Cup knockout fixture, 40 overs a side. And Widnes have already played a game in this competition. Is that right, Andy? You played, yeah, beat Walsall last week. Oh, Andy Burns, my fellow scorer today from Widnes, is trying to think when it was, but they've already won some experience in this competition. And we're going to see Ali Chugtai, another left-hander, facing Nick Anderson, who's coming in from this Parswood Road end. Widnes won the toss today and have chosen to bat on what's just turning out to be a lovely afternoon again. We had a nice one yesterday here at Didsbury, and when we watched Alton Park's proliferation of left-handers, two left-handed openers, and we've got two more today in the Widnes ranks. So yeah, 40 overs aside in this competition. You can see the overs ticking down on the screen as they go. I'll try and explain the rules as we go on. That's a nice shot from Ali Chugtai. Goodness, that's a lovely cover drive for 4. Get him going, and very pleasing start as well. Correct over the right over the ball. Fielding restrictions apply in this. There are 3 power plays in this particular format. So this first power play, the first 8 overs, there's only 2 men allowed outside the fielding circle, and on an outfield as fast as Didsbury's with a pitch this good, Widnes will be looking to cash in, quite rightly. We'll then have a second power play of 24 overs, which is a maximum of 4 out, and then in the last 8 overs it's a maximum of 5 out. So try and keep you up to date with that. I'll try and keep up to date with it, actually. You're right. Free hits today as well. Every no ball is a free hit, apart from anything going above head height, which I'd be surprised if we see that today, to be honest. They don't tend to be bowlers who bang it in over much. The Didsbury players, Nick Anderson obviously capable of doing that. But James Green, who would also be a candidate for putting it in short, is not playing today. 2 changes for Didsbury from yesterday, and a good win over Alton Park. Sammy Ouds and Thomas McGowan coming in. James Green and Raza Mian are not able to play today, so that's the end of the first over. A good one for Widnes. 5 for no wicket, and it's going to be Liam Booth who will open the bowling from the Fletcher Moss end. See him wandering up to take his get his feet sorted out. Umpire Chris Hyde at the far end. We've got Graham Pugh at this near end. You've just seen him in action. 2 very good umpires. I've stood with both of them a number of times, and always a good experience with them. And we'll just see Liam Booth sorts his field out. Fairly cautious, as you might expect, in terms of the number of really attacking fielders. This is one slip. Marcus Fisher, you can see there. You'll see the mid-off and mid-on. We've got short extra cover. Steve Green. Noah Crows is back on the circle and cover, on the fielding circle. Tim Hughes at backward point, and then we've got square leg. And, fine leg, Thomas McGowan. So I'm assuming. Let me just lean out of the window and see. Yeah, it's third man and fine leg are the 2 boundary fielders out for Didsbury. Sammy out. I was just looking at third man. I'll just check that as Thomas. As Liam Booth comes into Kieran Mayer. From that straight away in the previous over. It's been a sloppy piece of work there, and a misfield and a run. So not a very tidy start. Not a very tidy start from Didsbury. It was played out, but then the throw came in and was spilled. was just looking out of the window to check where my fielders were, and then I could see one of them scurrying in to retrieve the ball, so Didsbury will be wanting to smarten up straight away. Very pleasing shot from Ali Chugtai. It's escaped Noah Crowe's at cover. He's dived on it and stopped it, but it's spilled away from him. A single. It's a lovely hit shot again from Ali Chugtai. It's a single for him. 7 for no wicket. And good confident start from the Widnes openers. So move then again to Kieran Mayer. Lets that one go. Around the field, so Charlie Lowe, and you can see him just gesturing to Sam Youds at third man to come round wider. That gap cut off. Umpires will be very strict on wides today as well. This is the requirements for this competition. Oh, and that's a bit of a swish there from Kieran Mayer. Just want to be a little more cautious, but the ball was there to hit the drive, tempting him. It's a big gap on the leg side. That's the right hand side as you're looking at your screen for him, where between mid-on and square leg, a big gap through there. So if it's too full and a bit straight, there's easy runs there for the left-hander. Liam Boole will be keeping it on or around outside that off stump. And that's off the edge, but the third man has been pulled round wider, Sam Youds, so he fields that successfully, and that's 2 overs. And you see that we think that will be the Widnes batting lineup, but we're not sure 100% yet. Fergus McKenna, the Australian, is next. But Widnes will be hoping it's a while before he needs to be out there. As Nick Anderson starts his second over. That's a nice one past the edge. He's got a couple of slips in, as you can see. Noah Crowe has gone into second slip. Finally again third man out. Square leg, mid-on, mid-off extra cover and backward point on the offside. That's a wide ball, is called by umpire Graham Pugh. Not happy with that one. So the first extra of the day. I'll have to do that one again. Oh, that's past the edge. That's a beauty, Nick Anderson. And Kieran Mayer just looking a little uncertain outside the off stump at the moment. Plenty of options to dab it away for ones and twos if that opportunity presents itself. But, Nick Anderson bowling well. That looks a bit wide again, but no, umpire says that's okay. Just to remind you, we watch from roughly 8 o'clock as you're looking at the at your screen, so our view is slightly different. I'll try to watch the live action as well, rather than look at the screen, so it gives a more accurate picture what we can do. And that's that gap through the leg side that came out found nicely. Didsbury a couple, clipped it away, didn't quite time it, but definitely safe all along the ground. Widnes into double figures now, 11 for no loss. It's coming to the end of the third over. Beautiful afternoon at Didsbury now. That's the clear blue sky and just a bit of a breeze, but more than yesterday, which I think the players will find quite helpful. It's keep them a bit cooler. Oh, and that's a lovely delivery to finish a very good over from Nick Anderson generally. 3 runs in total from it. You can see the early stages of the Didsbury bowling. A few options there. We'll see Steve Green without any doubt. Sam Youds quite possibly called upon to bowl. Tom McGowan I would think as well. Dan Ward, another spinning option. So it's 8 overs a bowler, so there'll have to be at least 5 bowlers that we see. As Liam Booth comes in to chug tie. He's had a decent start to the season, Andy, has he? I seem to remember his name cropping up quite regularly while I was compiling the newsletter in terms of runs and scores last year certainly, and seen him already featuring this year, so encouraging for Widnes. Well, that's off the edge, but well wide of the slip, down to third man. Sam Youds is fielding, that's a single. Not where Ali Chugtai will have been hoping it went, and certainly it'll have been heart in mouth moment for a few seconds. But well wide of the one slip in. It's quite wide, Marcus Fisher there, that slip anyway, but still no chance of a catch. A few folks dotted around watching, but around lunchtime, not many down just yet, but probably see a steady stream coming down during the afternoon. It's a nice day to be out watching the game. Just past the edge, it bounced in front of wicketkeeper Charlie Lowen. Changing the field as you can see now, because Charlie Lowen's come up to the stumps. Did this a fair bit yesterday, and so it's just one more thing for the batsman to think about. Kieran Mayer to be conscious of him there, keeping his feet grounded behind the crease marking. That's a lovely shot. It's going to be it might be 4 first of all, but Tom McGowan's come a lot wider at fine leg, more long leg, so he just keeps it to 1. Initially he'd whipped it away quite nicely. Tidy over from Liam Booth. It's the last ball of this second, and that's again off the edge by Ali Chugtai. He's going to get another single, perfectly safe down to third man. But good over from Liam Booth. 3 from it. So you'll see the initial run rate, but that will become more relevant for us as the game progresses. We are using DLS today as well. It shouldn't come into it in terms of needing it for the calculation, but nonetheless just for comparative purposes. Andy's shaking his head about DLS. I thought you knew everything. Well, we'll muddle through together, but I'm reasonably confident that we will not be calling upon it today other than for anything just a comparison. So Nick Anderson into Ali Chugtai. Well, it's a short one. It's hooked though, and that has gone for just bounced one short of 4, I think. Yeah, it's certainly signalled as 4. It's a lovely shot. The plane goes right overhead, you might be able to hear. Talking about bowlers getting it above head height, well, Nick Anderson's capable of it, but even though that was quite a quick ball, Ali Chugtai was onto it very quickly and hit it beautifully. Moving to double figures. I'm feeling confident about that. I'll just see the plane now above our eye line. That's quite an unusual angle for it to take out of the airport. They're taking off over us today. They'd normally be sort of coming in, but the wind has obviously switched round. Must be coming from the east if they're taking off. We're told it's going to be coming from the west. These weather forecasters know. That's nicked away off the edge. That'll be down to third man. Let's see Dan Ward fielding down there. He's profiting from that area quite nicely, Ali Chugtai. Looking in good touch. It's a lovely hook shot. Real orthodox proper hook. Well executed. It was not very far short of being 6, and that's quite a long hit. It's the longer part of the boundary on your left hand side of the screen, the leg side for the left hander as it is now, and it was a super shot. Short again, and I was just going to sit up, and Ali Chugtai smacked that well in front of square for 4 runs. I was not. Oh, I beg your pardon, Kieran. I beg your pardon. He's tucking in with Ali Chugtai. Thanks, Andy. Looking at something else there. It's quite right. That was Kieran Mayer. My apologies. Nick Anderson banging another one in, but it doesn't really profit you at Didsbury because it tends to do that. Just sit up. You might have heard the cry of anguish from Nick Anderson as soon as he banged it in. It just sat up, and Kieran Mayer on it quickly. And pulled it through a massive gap at mid wicket for 4. Nice shot. Second boundary, and Chugtai has the 1. So good over for Widnes. 23 for 5, 23 for none off 5, 9 off that over. See the effect of that on that Manhattan. It's 2 boundaries. Both well hit. We will have Ali Chugtai on strike. We'll get it right this time, Andy. There we are. So Liam Booth into Ali Chugtai. Standing up again, so something else for the batter to think about. All clever, you see. And that's caught behind. Yeah, he's nicked, and the fielders went straight up. Ali Chugtai looked disappointed, but no hesitation from the umpire either, and that's a good breakthrough for Didsbury and for Liam Booth. Ali Chugtai was looking in good touch. 2 nice boundaries for him, but he's out for 12, caught by Charlie Lowen. Standing up, smart catch by him. So that's the first Widnes wicket. Score at 23. And a wicket for Liam Booth, and a good breakthrough as well. That's Smart work. And Charlie Lowen maybe just standing up there. There was no room for any error by Ali Chugtai. Just got a thin edge as he went for the drive. So we're going to see Fergus McKenna striding in. Do you know which part of Australia? It's Melbourne, I'm told. We have an Australian. I don't know if him and Noah Crows know each other. Oh, and he's pretty confident they play in the same team, so that might be help for both sides, a bit of inside information. We'll see Noah opening the batting later, but Fergus McKenna, tall, right-handed batsman, so I'll have a left-hand, right-hand combination. For Didsbury to bowl at. Fergus McKenna just having a look around the field. You can see the one slip some way back, Marcus Fisher, just out of your shot, and then there's a short mid-wicket, square leg, and mid-on. Mid-off, cover and backward point. The third man and fine leg there for him. Oh gosh, that was not far away from the edge. Probably just the area Liam Booth is looking for. I'm going to switch to the right-hander now and right on the spot straight away. He's just picking up a little bit. Trees around the ground all ruffling. He moves in, he's turned that away. I think he was aiming for a little bit squarer than that. Fergus McKenna went out to mid-on. Sonic Anderson fielded it there, no run. Come back from Didsbury after Widnes took 9 off that previous over. Wicket, 4 dots including a wicket so far this one. Going to be a wide, I think. That's going to be 2 wides actually. It's down the leg side. Keeper's going to signal something. Yeah, 2 wides that will be. Let's go on to 25. Andy and I are agreeing so far. That's a good sign. Might be as good as it gets. We'll see. On the left-hander, Kieran Mayer back on strike. Fairly cautious start from him. He's been quite watchful, Kieran Mayer. That 4 from Nick Anderson in the previous over. Nice shot, but it's been watchful stuff otherwise. And again, let's that one go. And that's the end of the 6th over. So Didsbury almost through this first power play, and you will hopefully see them moving smartly through their overs, because that's good for the game. There are penalties that are brought in if overs are not completed in time, and I believe it relates to the last power play. The last 8 overs, where you can have up to 5 fielders out, but if you're behind you can only have 4 out, and it maybe get reduced down again depending how far behind, if it comes to that. So Didsbury aware of this. They'll want to get through their overs as quick as they can, so you will hopefully see a lot of smart moving between the wickets, keeping the game moving. McKenna just taking a bit of time. This will be taken into account, and fine leg has moved from all round to long leg now, I'm going to call that. As Nick Anderson is into Fergus McKenna, right-hander, and he's off the edge but into the ground, and well stopped by Tim Hughes. A tumbling stop at backward point. That was travelling. Tim Hughes just wringing his hands. You can't see him, but he's on his knees just now, and feeling his hands there. That bounced up well in front of him off the turf, but was going at a fair rate. What about you, Andy? I think I'd have been diving over that one. Sorry, lads. Good stop by Tim Hughes. That's gone in a similar area, but through a big gap down to Liam Booth at third man for a single. So, Fergus McKenna off the mark. Fielder switches around Tim Hughes. You've seen scuttling across there to backward point for the left-hander. Cover a mid-off, mid-on, square leg, and long leg. So, and in fact, just saw Noah Crow's coming out there of the slip, so he's now in a mid-wicket, plugging that gap for Kieran Mayer. And Sam Leach at mid-off, and run. Short again, and just short of Tom McGowan at square leg. There's a cry of catch from Nick Anderson. He banged that one in. I think it might have surprised Kieran Mayer a little bit. It just seemed to pick up a bit of pace, and he didn't get hold of it like he did in the last over. It flew round where Tom McGowan is a backward square leg. It bounced just in front of him. So a bit of an escape there for Kieran Mayer. He survives. He's on to 11. So last ball of this 7th over is nicely played by Fergus McKenna. That's lovely through the gap, and that's going to be 4 runs to finish the over. Nice shot from the Australian. His first boundary, and a nice end to the over for him and for Widnes. 31 for 1 after 7 overs. Nick Anderson will be frustrated with that. See that boundary. See the two Widnes partnership so far. Had a little opening stand, but these opening few that they'll want to really cash in on. Very good pitch, fast outfield, shorter boundary on the right hand side of your screen as well. This last over of the first power play now. Still just the 2 out, and they're both behind the stumps. Third man and long leg. As Liam Booth is in. It's been very tidy indeed, Liam Booth. He's conceded singles, and 2 wides the only real blot on his bowling analysis at the moment. He's claimed the wicket. Boundaries off him. Reliable performer, as we know, at Didsbury. I can see his figures 1 for 8 in his 4th over, so a very tidy start from him. I think actually, Andy, when the last time was I saw Widnes actually play, and I remember umpiring them at Stockport a few years ago. That, but I'm just some of the Widnes players are sitting out in front of Kamar Hafiz, I can see. I remember him hitting an enormous 6. Widnes had got themselves in a bit of a hole in that match. Yeah, well, that's a nice shot down the ground from Kieran Mayer. So I just break off from my memories of watching Widnes. That's a nice shot, and that is the first boundary off Liam Booth, and a good firm drive from Kieran Mayer, his 2nd boundary. plays out Liam Booth in again. And that's another pleasant draw, slightly uppish, just short of Steve Green at short cover. Yes, I was just saying, going back to that game, I remember Kabat, oh, it's a while ago, isn't it? Yeah. Widnes were in Division, so Widnes have been in Division 2, or were you in Div 1? Stockport, I can't remember if Stockport were in one of their better phases or not. They've not had many, but yes, they were, I think. We'll come back to that, but that's the end of the power play. The first 8 overs bowled, and fairly even, Stephen. I think 35 for 1 off 8. So not a rip-roaring start from Widnes. You can see their card there, but 4 and a bit in overs, decent. Only the 1 wicket lost as well, which they'll be delighted about. Are we going to see a change of bowling? Nick Anderson, just out of shot there, yes, he's going to turn to Sam Youds. You can see the signal from umpire Graham Pugh, so this will be Sam Youds. See that slight hiccup here. Just one moment. Yeah, I'll just discovered that computer has not been set up correctly. Those people shall remain nameless. However, he's there now, so if you scroll down, you'll find Sam Youds handy on your list. Yes. You might have to refresh it. Sam Youds is going to come in to bowl to Fergus McKenna, right arm over. Oh, and that's just through Tim Hughes at backward point. It's flashed away, it's gone for 4 runs. A bit wider from Sam Youds, yes indeed, umpire Graham Pugh saying wide. So untidy start. Nice shot from Fergus McKenna away through backward point. Hughes dived, couldn't stop it again. It was nicely timed. Steady run up, but decent pace. Good cricketer Sam Youds. He can bat and bowl. Yep. So just checking there whether things haven't been set up correctly. So shot for nothing. Good comeback from Sam Youds. So last ball of Sam Yount's first over, and that's driven nicely by Fergus McKenna, but there's a man back on the cover boundary, so just a single. So that ends the 9th over, 41-4-1. Apologies, just changing a few things that I thought had been done, but hadn't. Doesn't matter, we're there now. So, 9 overs, 41-1. Off 9. Yeah, Liam Booth just having a look round, chatting with Nick Anderson. He's going to have another over. Liam Booth in, and Fergus McKenna well sent back there by Kieran Mayer. There's absolutely no chance of a run. In fact, it was Noah Crowe, the Australian, coming in, who would have been delighted to put one over on his compatriots, but Kieran Mayer shouting no, no, no. Any dramas there? Found my wine gums. Good news. Nicely driven by Fergus McCann. Sam Leach dives, stops it though. It's well done. It was a nice shot, but no run. Good fielding from Sam Leach. I see Noah Crowe's coming right the way across to congratulate him there. Seemed a certain 2, and it might even have been even more. Just got a slight problem here. I'm just going to knock the time off. Liam Booth has injured himself, I think, somehow. Something's not quite right. The bowler's coming off, and we've just got an injury at the moment to the bowler. He's done something to his hand. He's trotting off. Doesn't look in any great discomfort, but I think he's saying that's a dislocation. Oh dear. And he's grimacing with me, and the Didsbury players coming off, you've seen. So we'll just have a slight pause here while we Liam Booth sorts his finger out. I think he must have deflected that as well, and Sam Leach sprawling onto it at mid-off. So we'll be back with you shortly, just while that injury's sorted out. So welcome back to our commentary feed on our Didsbury YouTube channel. We've had an interruption in our cup game here for an injury to Liam Booth. I believe he cut his finger rather than dislocated it. There was something fairly nasty anyway, which necessitated some time off the field, just getting it sorted out. But stoppage of some 4 or 5 minutes. The umpires will have kept a note of it. You can see him now, we're midway through the over. So he's got 3 balls to bowl, Liam Booth, and he's going to start again. Fergus McKenna, it's looking in good touch, 10 off 14. Just going to see an action there, he's whipped that away nicely. I hope you could see that, because that was a lovely shot, but nicely fielded by Dan Ward. That backward square leg. And we'll see him having a bowl. It'll be good to see young Dan having a bowl. Let's go into the first team now, one of our fine junior cricketers. Goes down smartly to field that. For shout, but no real interest from anybody other than the bowler. Certainly in cup cricket, the dot ball is as helpful as a wicket sometimes, so Didsbury will be happy enough with that. The slips come right out now, back on the cover boundary as we're now in this second phase of restrictions. Third man and long leg in play. Oh, that's down the leg side, it's going to be a wide. Yep, there it is. It's the only one off this over so far, although it's been a big hiatus in the middle of it. So Liam Booth will just look to finish this off now. Driven out nicely, but that's straight to that field I mentioned on the cover boundary, Marcus Fisher. So just a single to end the 10th over. And there's 43 for 1. So receive, thank you. Yeah, I might have just heard the umpires coming through on the walkie-talkie. They've added 4 minutes on for the injury. It was a bit of a delay. We're a little bit behind where we should be, but we'll hopefully catch that up anyway. So yeah, first 10 overs and fairly even again. Would you say, Andy? I would say so. Yeah. 43 for 1. Just a 1 wicket in the first 10. Widnes will be happy with that. Scoring rate's okay, 4.3. Didsbury won't be unhappy. They haven't got away, Widnes. They've got a very handy wicket in Ali Chugtai out. It's looking very much in form. That's good. Oops, going to be a wide. Yeah, look, very wide. Didsbury have just got to watch that. 6 wides already. One lot of 2 wides, if you see what I mean. It's almost an over's worth of bowling to do again, which no side needs. Nicely driven by Fergus McKenna through the gap. It's going to be fielded though. Noah Crow's coming in. The Australian has done very well to keep that to 1. It was travelling, bobbling a bit as well as he came herring in off the cover boundary. He was just talking to the chairman. But he was round smartly. Clean pick up and throw. He's kept that to 1. It was nicely hit by Fergus McKenna through the gap at extra cover. So Kieran Mayer. Let's have a little look. He's not faced a delivery in 2.5 overs. This has been counting well, pinching the strike. So he's just got to reset himself. His first ball off Samuel. It's a gentle gather in, but decent pace as it comes down and past the edge. Encouragement for the bowler. He's got a man on the boundary either side of the wicket, square either side of the wicket. And the third man and long leg as well. Backward point, extra cover, mid off, mid on and mid wicket, and then in the circle. wide again. Yeah, umpire Graham Pugh not happy with that one. So that is now an extra over. Didsbury have bowled already in wides. It'll be a discipline for both sides, of course, but Didsbury have. Right, so have we only got one left-hander today? I think we have. Oh, no, beg your pardon, Dan. We've got two left-handers, haven't we? That's scooped away around the corner from Kieran May. You'll see Liam Booth coming into field. Scotland down from long leg, the single. But whether it's bowling his left-hand, right-hand line that's throwing the Didsbury bowling a bit. Keeper up now. Well fielded, very well fielded by the captain. That was hit hard again by Fergus McKenna. He likes that shot. Keeper's up now behind the stumps. You can see Charlie Lowen. Give him something to think about. Nick Anderson right back on the fielding circle, backward point. And that came to him very quickly, but he was down smartly to field it. So a tidy comeback from Sammy. His very first ball was hit for 4, but he's dragging it back nicely. It's just those 3 wides that are a bit of a blot on that. You can tidy that up. This will be very helpful for Didsbury. Anyway, last ball of his second over, and well done. Batsman can just defend it out. So 4 runs off the over, 2 off the bat, 2 wides. 11 overs gone now. What's Nick going to do with Nick Anderson? Going to do with Liam Booth? Is Liam going to bowl right through? I wonder. His fingers may be a bit of an issue. He's certainly going to bowl this next over. He's been bowling very well. 5 overs, 1 for 14. Just a 1 boundary off him. The only wicket to fall. Pulled 10 overs straight through yesterday. Liam, I think I need 2 days rest after doing that. I think that might you only, but he's back again, bowling very well, very accurately today. Kieran Mayer. He's not seen much of the strike recently. Just want to feel bat on ball again. He's done it like that. He's hammered that in the air and well wide of mid-off, and that certainly did put nice feel of the ball on the bat there in the middle of it. It went speeding away through wide mid-off. No chance for Nick Anderson. Fielding at mid-off. 4 runs and the 50 up for Widnes in his 12th over. Good rate, 4.5 runs and over they're going at now, so we'll want to be looking to keep that sort of momentum going. 3rd boundary for Kieran May. He's on to 20 now. A bit better with life. That's just guided away down to the 3rd man, single. Just switching round, it's the 1 man back on the boundary for Fergus McKenna, that man on the sweep on. Marcus Fisher out there. The right hand side as you're looking, right in the boundary. Studious leave alone. Nicely driven, but straight to Steve Green at I'll call that cover. It's not quite wide enough to be extra cover. So again, a nice confident shot, Fergus McKenna. A nice shot, flicked away, but straight to his compatriot Noah Crows, mid-wicket. Took that nicely, but Noah Crows down smartly. Nice finish from Liam Booth after that 4 off the first ball. Just 1 run off the next 5 balls, so 6 overs for him. Now 1 for 19, and you can see that Widnes worm going up at a fairly steady rate, maintaining that sort of 4 and a bit, 4.5, around that sort of area. To listen, you see, because if they're by the effects mic, they're chatting, I turn the effects mic right down in case they're saying all sorts. It's not there, it's not their fault, it's down there. They're just chatting with Noah. Right. But, you know, people either say stuff or you hear stuff or whatever, blimey. So, yeah, we're just monitoring the effects microphone. And we're just, a little slight delay, but Kieran Mayer is ready now to face Sam Youts. Gentle approach to the wicket, but certainly plenty of pace. That's full toss. That's been driven, and that's going to be 4 runs. It's 2 full from Sam Youts. Disappointment for him. He's just got his length thrown there. Nicely driven by Kieran Mayer. And as we keep saying, past the fielder on this outfield, you've very little chance of pulling that back, and very nicely hit. He was under 25 now. It's almost the pressure for the bowler when they concede a boundary early in the over, conscious of playing catch up really for the rest of the over, trying to drag it back. Good comeback from Sam Youts, a couple of tidy deliveries. Oh, that's past the edge. Nicely done. So the approach looks gentle enough, Sam Youts, but it's all in the shoulder and generates a decent bit of pace. It seems to have its siren on forever. It's just gone past the ground now. You might be able to pick that one up. So final ball of this 13th over. It's, oh gosh, that's quick, short, above head high, but the umpires will allow that. That's fine. 1 for the over. Surprised the batsman there, I think, with that one, Sam Youts, but He did play catch up pretty well there. 4 off the first ball and then 5 dots, so 3 overs for 14 for him. Now you can see this second wicket partnership just growing now. That's 30 and just over 7 overs, 33. And we're going to see another change of bowling, and this looks like Tom McGowan. I'll just see what's happening. I was speculating previous over whether Liam Booth would bowl right through, but clearly the answer is no. Tom McGowan is going to bowl. See some right arm over spin. Seeing just some practice deliveries there to Steve Green, who will also be seeing, I'd imagine, fairly soon. But it's a big test for Tom McGowan. I'm not aware that he's played for the ones before. Let's have a look. What's he got field wise? Well, he's got Marcus Fisher back on the cover boundary where he's been, and as he comes in for his first ball, he's got deep backward square leg Sam Yowes, deep mid wicket Noah Crows, and Liam Booth has stayed down at well, that's long on. He is now just out of shot on the left of your picture. Short fine leg mid wicket on the leg side. That's gone out to the man on the cover boundary, so single. It's backward point as well, cover and mid off. Field just moving around for the left-hander, so field is just organising where they need to be. Marcus Fisher's gone, he's stayed over on that. What was the offside now? The leg side is at deep backward square leg. So Liam Booth is now at long off, quite wide, and he's actually, just realised, you'll see him, no, he's just out of shot, but still long off, cover on the boundary. Tom McGowan is round the wicket to the left-hander. Tidy approach, young man. Be able to hustle a few overs through here for Didsbury as well, which will be helpful for them. Nicely hit, that's just a single. Clean strike from Kieran Mayer. Fergus McKenna, who interesting to see how he plays spin. Australians tend to like playing it. There's a few terrors for them, so it'll be interesting to see what he does. Plays that one out defensively for the tidy first over from Tom McGowan. See Widnes 58 for 1 off 14. We think that will be something like the batting lineup, but may change, of course, depending on how they progress. Preparing for a fourth over from him. Surprised us all with that quick bouncer last ball, last over. Kieran Mayer it was who was facing that one. That's off the edge, and I think, it's just spun away past backward point. Not time, just a single. Only safe all along the ground. I think it's spun away a bit from Tim Hughes at backward point. You'll see him trudging across now. Come on, Tim. Move a bit quicker than this, it'll take a while. He's coming across to want to square a point now for the Australian, and Nick Anderson at backward point and the third man. So they've clearly identified a scoring area for Fergus McKenna. I'm trying to cut it off. So extra cover and mid off as well. It's just 6-3 field, and Tom McGowan's at square leg, quite a long way back on the circle at square leg, mid on and long leg. The leg side fielders. Oh no, that looks good in terms of how it the fielders reacted. They look aghast it's been turned down. I wasn't looking straight down the pitch down on the monitor. And umpire Graham Pugh saying nope, that's going down the leg side. I assume that's what it was. It certainly wasn't going over. It looked at him fairly low down. Certainly Fergus McKenna got in a bit of a tangle there. So some confidence and encouragement for Sammy out and Didsbury. He's looked fairly untroubled other than that last delivery. That's pushed away for a single. Nicely fielded by Tim Hughes, round smartly. So a good over from Sammy Hodges, 2 off it. 15 overs gone, and you can, even that, I can work the run rate out there. 60 off 15, it's a nice round 4 per over. And you can see the Didsbury bowlers so far. Anderson bowled a little bit better than those figures suggest, but he did go to the boundary.
Is that close?
On 4 occasions. Tom McGowan's going to have another over. Pulling to the right-handed Fergus McKenna. Ooh, looks to get a long way back in his crease as well. Still see Sammy Out has come down here to deep backward square leg, still shaking his head. He didn't get the LB in the previous over, but there's an appeal for a catch caught and bowled here, but now there's a bit of confusion as to whether that's caught and bowled. It's cleanly caught by the bowler, but was it a bump ball is the question. And you always get this thing here, it's very difficult to judge. The Widnes players who are some way away, they're as far away as we are, can clearly tell us it's a bump ball. But they've no more idea than we have whether it was a clean catch. I think if there's any doubt, it's got to be not out. No, he's given him out. Oh gosh, off screen there, he's been given out, caught and bowled. I would have thought if there was any discussion to be had, it would indicate confusion, but no, caught and bowled is the decision. So, smart piece of work by Tom McGowan. The Didsbury fielders seemed fairly happy that that was out. They went straight up for the appeal. Fergus McKenna stood there, and the umpires met just out of shot, conferred, and then Chris Hyde raised the finger and gave him out. So they clearly had no doubt. They must have just wondered if the catch was clean. Quite curious. You can watch it back for yourself and make your own mind up. I thought a bump ball, or if there's any doubt about a bump ball, the benefit of the doubt to the batsman, but clearly the umpires had no doubt. So a very good second wicket for Didsbury to have claimed. You'll see them huddled together there. Fergus McKenna had looked in few difficulties. 14. He'd taken 33 balls over it, but solid enough. A couple of nice boundaries. But Didsbury delighted with the breakthrough. It was, I could see it was a clean catch from Tom McGowan, but I had no idea whether it was a bump ball or not. What do you think, Andy? No, it's just impossible to tell, isn't it? Yeah. But the umpires, who are the ones that matter, are happy enough that it was hit straight back to the bowler in a clean catch. So, second wicket down, 60 the total. Partnership of 37 for the second wicket. 37 in 10 overs. Exactly, has come to an end, and Matt Burns has come to the crease. So still a right-hand, left-hand combination for Didsbury to work with. Tom McGowan coming in. with the same field as he had for Fergus McKenna. Deep square leg, deep mid wicket, long on and cover on the boundary, the men out. This is a good start from the young man. And that's a wicket made, and a very tidy over indeed from Tom McGowan. Some controversy with the dismissal, but the decision was out, and so that's the first made in the innings, a wicket maiden for the young man, 1 for 2, and Didsbury very much happier with life as a result. And we're going to see an old spin attack now, because Dan Ward is coming on to replace Sam Youds. 4 overs for 16, Sam Youds, but played the ball pretty well, and this will be Dan Ward. Left arm, well, presumably coming over the wicket to the left-handed Kieran Mayer, who's still there, 27 not out, and very important for Widnes that he stays put for a while now. So got the feel of the conditions. The sun's just gone in, it's just gone a little bit, still a lovely afternoon, but that brightness has gone. Sam Youds down at long on, man out on the cover boundary. Tom McGowan, Marcus Fisher at mid off, is right back on the circle. As Dan Ward, left arm over the wicket to the left-hander, comes in and he's hit straight away, but wide of Marcus Fisher at that deep mid-off position. And Kieran Mayer to show the young man who's boss straight away. 4 off the first ball, down the pitch, nice use of the feet, got to the pitch of it, in the air but well wide of the fielder, as I said. So he moves into the 30s now, 31 not out. Campbell won't be too troubled to see the batsman coming down the pitch at this very early stage of his bowling.
Bowling down.
Nice strong action Dan's got. Round the wicket to the right-hander and over to the left. And that's not a good ball, that's a full toss, and he's going to get lucky there. I guess that's going to straight to the fielder at long off. Just a single.
Do you see it?
Kieran Mayer, I probably feel he missed out a bit there, because that could have been hit anywhere, but he's got a run. Single, so that brings Matt Burns on to strike, the right-hander, so we'll see Dan Ward coming around the wicket to him. See a slip's gone in there. Nick Anderson's just put himself in there for the new man at slip. Oh, and that's straight to him, but on the bounce, clearly on the bounce. It's been a work there from Nick Anderson. Flick, but short fine legging business there for Matt Burns. It's just 2 fielders out now on the other side of the wicket at cover on the boundary, and well, that's actually backward square leg, a deep backward square leg, but mid off and mid on in the circles, right on the edge of it. Matt Burns, none off 7 for him as the over finishes. Good one from Dan Ward. 4 off the first ball, but dragged it back well. Just see Widnes a little bit falling away from that 4 and over. It's not far away, there's plenty of time. But 65 for 2 after 17. 23 overs remaining, as we said, a 40 over a side game. 13 runs off the last 5 overs though, and the wicket, so a good piece of containment by Didsbury. As Tom McGowan is going to come around the wicket to the left-hander. Oh, dead ball. Thank you, I've got the umpire. So I'll try again. Slip in play also for Kieran Mayer, but he's driven that through extra cover, and it's only going to be 1. But hit that quite hard, but Sam Leach parried it, took the sting off it. And the field becomes less attacking for the new batsman. I don't quite understand that, Andy. More attacking for the set man, but anyway, Tom McGowan on the wicket. Matt Burns is away now. And Tim Hughes is going to have to chase that. It's going to be 2, might be 3 if they really want it, but no, 2's okay. No one behind the wicket, so Tim Hughes had to hurtle after it from backward point. So Matt Burns away with a couple. So you've got the 4 men out for the new batsman. And he's just pointing out to me that Sam Leach nearly went for a Burton on one of the ground sheets covering a wicket end. Oh, so don't want to miss that one, Matt Burns. He was alright back in his crease, but just poked it out to Tim Hughes at backward point. And nice tidy end to another good over from Tom McGowan. 3 overs now, 1 for 5 for him. And that's been an excellent start. From this perspective, Widnes just getting a little peg back. 68 for 2 off 18. I've not had a boundary in 5 overs now. One on the 13th over, but it's the last time the umpires were signalling a boundary to us. Oh, no, what am I talking about? 13th, I don't mind. I've not updated my notes. That's why Andy's here, to update me. 16th over, of course, as well. So just 1 boundary in the last 5. I obviously meant to say.
Well
But still, just 12 runs off the last 5 overs is the really pertinent factor in Widnes. I just want to keep it ticking a little more than that. Stan Ward is in. Nick Anderson barking instructions to his far-flung fielders. Liam Booth has come in now off that deep square leg boundary, so he's in the behind square behind the umpire. Good firm diff. I was just checking, but there was a man out that long on. Sammy Out has come round to keep that to 1. I assumed that there must be somebody down there. Long off and long on staying back. Cover and deep backward square leg on the boundary as well. And that's a nice shot from Matt Burns. He's just under-hit that but found the gap very nicely. And that will be another 4. That's a good piece of batting from him. I think he knew he'd look where the fielders were and didn't try and hit it too hard, just more placed it short fine leg in. The man at mid-wicket had no chance. It was nicely hit. 4 runs, Matt Burns. First boundary for him. Good shot. Stan Ward is around the wicket, and he's tried to do the same again, but this time he's found the man. Short fine leg, so can't repeat. Previous shot. And you might be able to. There's plenty of encouragement from the Widnes players watching. And I think 1 or 2 have come down from the club, have they? Maybe. 1 or 2 around. But some good support for the batsman, which I like to see. A couple of steady partnerships got Widnes going, but nothing really substantive yet. 19 hours ball, so where are we up to time-wise? It should be drinks indeed, yes, Andy's just saying. A little break. But, 74 for 2, so Tom McGowan beginning the 20th over, bowling to Matt Burns. Oh, and that's going to be wide, yeah, I didn't know if he got something on that, but he didn't. So I'll have to try that one again. Nice shot from Matt Burns, nice defensive shot. He's going to right over the ball. Just trying to wait for the right one to attack. Tom McGowan keeping him honest with that this full length. 3 back on the leg side and 1 on the offside. Quite a few singles around, but in fact he might get 4 there. Has that gone too wide of the fielder? He can't get there. Marcus Fisher's come round, and again, good placement by Matt Burns, as in the previous over. Placed the ball nicely, let the outfield do the work. And again there is that man out I was saying. Marcus Fisher's quite square, and he placed that deliberately backward of point. And the ball raced away, so 2 fours in 5 balls for Matt Burns. You can't see any of the fielders on your screen. They're all fairly close in, just out of shot, stopping those ones there. That was one at mid-wicket, and that's again Sam Leach coming in at mid-wicket to field. So 5 off that 20th over. Widnes 79 for 2, and we are going to have a drinks break, so we'll just call a halt there. You can have a look at the card. 79 for 2, and we'll be back shortly with the second 20 overs. So welcome back into just after our drinks break. We've got a change of bowling. as you may see. Steve Green is taken over from Dan Ward, another left arm spinner, of course well known, and gosh, ooh, first ball after the restart, Kieran Mayer, that looked ambitious, and nearly the end of him. As I say, another left arm over spin option, but Steve, very fine ball, good cricketer. He's causing some issues already for Kieran Mayer. He's just got to get himself settled again. He's battled hard for this 34. Struck the ball nicely, but will be conscious of wanting to push the scoring on. He's found a gap there on the leg side. That's perfectly safe, just a single. Sammy Out comes in. So now around the wicket, this will be Steve Green to Matt Burns, who's got away nicely. A couple of intelligent boundaries, if I can call them that, nicely placed shots in the previous couple of overs, taking him on to 11. His first ball from Steve Green. He seems to be poking, he seems to be reaching a bit in front of his pad. Is that just me? I'm just poking at it a bit, possibly. Need to be careful he doesn't get a leading edge on that. Steve's bowling. Oh, he's turned that one away nicely. It'll just be a single. Dan Ward coming round. Short, fine leg. So 1 run. Matt Burns. Widnes 81 for 2. So getting through these overs a bit quicker now, Didsbury, which is good. Just keeping an eye on the time. I know we've had a bit of an allowance from the umpires. And that's a nice lofted drive. That's a lovely shot from Kieran Mayer. Has that gone 4 or 6? Oh, in fact, I don't think it's even gone for 4. It's just died on the... Oh, gosh, it's 2 runs, I think, in the end. It's a lovely lofted drive and a big gap, but it just plugged. I thought that was going to be possibly even 6, but in the end it was just 2. Nice shot, though. All picked out, and we're going to see a double change because Nick Anderson is going to come back on to bowl, but he's going to change ends. Didsbury captain started from this Parswood Road end, but you can just see him marking his runabout to come from the Fletcher Moss end now. On that, I think we've had the weather from Widnes here. It's always a bit cloudier over there. And it's clouded right over here at Didsbury now. That brightness is a distant memory at the moment. Hope we see it again, but it's still perfectly playable, bright, but a lot more cloud filling in now around. So, Matt Burns to face Nick Anderson. Let's have a look. We've got third man and a fine leg, extra cover on the boundary and deep backward square leg on the boundary, but everyone else in the circle. 3 on the off, 2 on the on, and that's Tim Hughes in action again at backward point. Nice shot, crisply hit, but straight back to the bowler. Will be pleased to get his hands on that past him, and that was at least a couple, I would have thought, but nicely fielded. That's away off the edge. Matt Burns all along the ground to third man, single. Chance for Kieran Mayer to have a look at Nick Anderson. Did a nice 4 off him in that opening spell, I remember. Really hammered a short ball through mid-wicket very effectively. It's good tight stuff though from the Didsbury captain this over. Just 1 run so far Just going to be 2 runs now off it because that's come out to the cover fielder. Single, nice. Easy run for Kieran Mayers. Pinch to strike at the end of that 22nd over. It's gone to 85 for 2. You can just see the run rate there has dipped a little bit more consistently under the 4 now. But Widnes primarily will be looking at the wickets column at this stage and just want to keep as many wickets in hand, maybe get to, what do you say, 30 overs and have a look, so they can really hopefully do some damage in the last stanza of the innings. But let's see how they play it. Steve Green. His second over, that's Liam Booth there. He's still wringing his hand there. It wasn't particularly hit hard, that ball. Liam Booth, as you might remember, went off mid-over, having injured his hand, and Noah Crows has come round there. So he's keep that down to a single. Obviously hit by Kieran Mayer. Yes, Liam Booth still examining his hand and holding it a bit gingerly. Backward square, well, he's at backward point now. He might have been right in the firing line here for Matt Burns, but we'll see. Well, he's down the pitch. So that could be a concern for Didsbury. He's fielding the ball in a follow through, Liam Booth, and did some damage as Matt Burns has gone high onto the off leg side. Marcus Fisher scurrying back, and he's kept it to 2. He's found a longer part of the short boundary, if that's possible to understand. And he didn't really get hold of it properly, Matt Burns, so it plugged again. Didn't really get quite out of the middle. Perfectly safe though, and a good couple of runs for him. He'll be pleased with that. Marcus Fisher now has stayed right back at only wide, long on. And that's action for Liam Booth again. That's gone wide of him now. That's going to be, it might even be, should he? It's gone for 4. I thought it might. Yes, it's run right away. It was quite wide of the fielder. So a nice end to the over for Matt Burns and Widnes. Needed that just to keep the scoring rate ticking as well. 92 for 2 off 23. And third 4 for Matt Burns. Again, more placed than really stroked, and it was a good bit of thinking. He's on to 19. He's to have added 32, so 3 good partnerships for Widnes without anything substantial just yet. Anderson coming into the left-handed Kieran Mayer. And that's going to be a wide, yep, down the leg side. 9 of those we've had now. One was 2 wides, and if you see what I mean, a wide, and the batsman ran as well. The bowlers just need to keep that discipline. Nicely hit through the gap, but only a single. Might have been, well, it would have been 4 in the early stages. That would have the field all up. But that Noah Crows back on the cover boundary. Smart piece of work from him. He's fielded well this afternoon. Noah fielded well this season. Actually, he's been very impressive. Similar shot on the offside now for Matt Burns, single for him, and out there on the boundary. And you'll see that fielder's coming round here too. That's Liam Booth. See what he does with his hand after picking that one up. Still having a look at it, isn't he? Still got 2 overs and bowled, Liam Booth. He bowled nicely earlier on, but we'll see him again. Very full from Nick Anderson. There was a full toss, and Matt Burns was halfway down the pitch, but Kieran Mayer said no, and I would have thought that was Matt Burns' call myself, but partly from the Widnes perspective, there was no disaster. Matt Burns just accepted the no and went back, even though I'm not sure what Kieran Mayer was doing ball watching. Anyway, Didsbury will be happy enough with the dot. Oh, he's nicked that. That's flown. Very good piece of fielding from Dan Ward. It went very fast and fine. You see Matt Burns scurrying back for a second. Evaded the dive of Charlie Lowen. Hit again, but straight to the man who's come up at Liam Booth, who's come up at mid on. Look at the hand from him, but he stopped it. So 6 runs in total off that over, that 24th over, 98 for 2. The Widnes 100 nearing. You can see the worm. What Widnes will not want to see is that kind of flat. And I won't want to see lots of circles on it either. Didsbury will. But it just indicates it's still a fairly even tussle at the moment, this. Widnes obviously building a platform. They've chosen to bat first. And set a target. Steve Green is in that. Nice shot from Kieran there. And he's hit it too well, really. Hit too hard. It's only a single. He might have got more with a mishit shot, as the way of it. But anyway, a single result. He's played that type of shot a few times quite effectively. Steve Green around the wicket to Matt Burns. Sent back again by Kieran Mayer. Hit. It's gone backwards square. Noah Crows is going to have to can't stop it. In fact, it's got through Noah Crows. He had a lot of ground to cover. Backward of point. And again, Matt Burns intelligently finds the boundary. Timed it nicely. It's quite a long hit down there, but pace off the outfield. And despite Noah Crows' best efforts, couldn't prevent the ball crossing the rope. So 4 runs. Widnes 100 up. 103 for 2 in the 25th. There we are. So 15 overs remaining. 103 for 2 the score. See that partnership now for that third wicket just growing. 43 in good time. Around about 10 overs it's taken them. This one just having a chat. So we'll have a change of bowling again. I think Tom McGowan's coming back on. Yes, he is. So a couple of overs from Nick Anderson in that spell. What was that? 2 overs for 8 he bowled in that spell there. And let's find you, Tom, on our screen. So yeah. Good, Andy. Yeah. So arguably the pick of the bowlers, Tom McGowan. 4 overs, 1 made, 1 for 10 so far. Big wicket of Fergus McKenna. Smart caught and bowled. Kieran Mayer into the 40s now. He's just having a look now. He's got singles of his last 5 deliveries, so he's obviously looking to keep things ticking more. An hour and a half, just over. So will be looking to him. Burns again finds the gap. Thinking of two, but no, I don't think so, gentlemen. It's one. Pushing the ball around, and as we were saying, Kieran Mayer now starting to score every ball. Tom McGowan showing some good control, and still be pleased with this. Can just defend that one. Getting through the over nice and quickly. That's looped right up. That's going to become a full toss now. It's going to Noah Crows is going to come into action again. Keep it down just to one. Deep mid wicket, so 4 off that 26th over. You can see these two going nicely now. 47 they've added. 14 overs left. What's the predictions? Well, at the moment, at the current scoring rate 165, the computer's saying, but I think it'll be a considerable amount more than that. Somewhere between 6 and 8 and over will take them around about the 200-210 mark. 24 have come off the last 5, so they'll be pleased with that. Steve Green is in for his 4th over. So we said before, 8 overs per bowler in this format. So one of the many things the captain has to think about today is juggling his bowling allocation round, so that that's worked out. Didsbury have used 6 anyway, so there's not going to be any issues with in that regard, but still a consideration. Nicely hit again, but the man's there now at deep backward square leg. And single for him. Nicely hit, but straight back to the bowler. Gosh, that was travelling. But nonchalantly failed it, and that's just 1 off that over. Steve Green, excellent over from him. He's threw it very quickly. So 4 overs for 17 for him. And have to keep our eyes. Yeah, Tom McGowan's going to have another one. There's 4 men out on the boundary. Let's be fairly orthodox. On either side, and long on and long off are very wide in their respective positions. Nick Anderson's long off, captain is very wide. Let's see, picked out. We're just stringing a few dots together here, which is good. That's they need to do. Burns probably conscious of that. Seven dots in a row now. Leach can't keep that one though, so that's a little sequence broken, but it's only a single. And Didsbury won't be too troubled about that at this stage. It's Kieran Mayer on to strike. One ball left in this over, and let's just see. I just feel that. One. Just confirming with the umpires. There's one ball to come. Around the wicket, and Kieran Mayer just carefully, studiously defends. So excellent for Didsbury. Yes, just 2 off the last 2 overs. Tom McGowan, 6 overs, 1 for 15. Very impressive he's been. Can't swear that this is his, and be absolutely certain that this is his first 11 debut. I'm pretty sure it is. I've come across him there before. If it is not, anyway, it's certainly a while since he's played. And a very impressive spell from him. Steve Green on his 29th over. Matt Burns on 30, facing him. It's around the wicket. And he's gone for the big shot there. That's gone quite high in the air, but it's perfectly safe. And it's a question of 4 or 6. And we get the signal for 6 runs from Matt Burns. First 6 of the innings. And that's brought the 50 partnership up as well for these two. 55 they've put on now. 79 balls, so just over 13 overs that's taken them. And a nice hit from Matt Burns. It's a shorter boundary on that leg side, but he's picked the gap well. There was nobody back there. It was a perfectly safe shot. Went for it and got plenty of it. And a few of those yesterday where the ball was flying onto the road and it took a bit of time to get them back, but thankfully the ball straight back, so there's no real delay. That's broken that bit of a barren scoring sequence from Widnes' point of view. Just 2 off the previous 2 overs. That was a fine shot. Can you see? I think that's the striker's call. He wanted a run, but Kieran Mayer not interested. Anyway, that's how the batsmen want to do it. They're the ones in charge, and I want to take this partnership much further now. They've added another run to it there. 56 it's worth now this stand. 116 for 2. 1 ball left in the 29th. Just hovering again around about that 4 and over. And just found a single there. Kieran Mayer. So good, well, better over for Widnes. 8 from it, 6 off that first ball. Steve Green pulled it back up better after that. You see the fairly consistent scoring, but a few quiet overs for Widnes. So I'll be looking for a lot more of those taller lines in this last 11 overs. I think for around about 200 at this current scoring rate. So I'll pick it up a little bit, I would imagine, but anyway, let's see what happens. Tom McGowan coming in for his 7th over. Kieran Mayer, 45 not out now. So be looking to really cash in on the fact that he's been batting nearly 30 overs. Probably could just do with staying there and let the other batsmen play around him. That's a nice drive. He's calling for 2, but I don't think there is going to be. Oh, they're going to take the throw on, and a good decision in the end because the throw was wide. And an example of some good running and calling there. The Widnes batsman, Matt Burns, the non-striker, called straight away for the second. And if they both go together, it's going to take something special to stop them. So that's nicely done. That's just going to be a single. smiling there from backward square leg. Striking close to where the umpire Graham Pugh is standing. So last ball of this 30th over. Matt Burns just knocks it away down the ground for a single. So 4 off that over and 121 for 2 with 10 overs remaining. So Andy and I were talking about this earlier, about Widnes just wanting to get to these last 10, and they've certainly got plenty of wickets in hand in doing so. And it'll be interesting to see just how many risks they take now. So the wind just really gets up. For a time, and that's where breeze has come from. I'll be able to see Steve Green's shirt and trousers getting really ruffled in that gusts. They're just coming across the ground at the moment. We have got DLS being used in this. Oh, Andy's just put his head in his hands again. We were saying confidently earlier we weren't going to need it other than just for comparison. But, I'm still hopeful the clouds will stay high and nothing more. Just still like a blue sky to contend with, that's all. So this last 10 over starts with a nice careful single. We've got a couple more of these overs and then the final power play. You'll see the signal a couple of overs time, which means Didsbury can have 5 out, I think. That's regulation. Oh, and he's bowled him. He's bowled him, Steve Green, and Kieran Mayer, who's looked so comfortable and settled, has been clean bowled by Steve Green. A very handy breakthrough for Didsbury. Can't believe he's done that, Kieran Mayer. 48 he made, 75 balls, 5 fours in that. Fine innings. But it's come to an end. You'll hear a round of applause for him. He's batted very nicely, added 62. Just over 15 overs for that third wicket, with Matt Burns, and 122 in all since he was batting, of course. In the batting, just too short of a 50. Steve Green has bowled him, just got one past the outside edge, clipped the off stump. Nice piece of bowling, and a welcome breakthrough for Didsbury. Third wicket, 30 overs. It's been hard work. They've not really put any chances down. Nothing got to hand. I don't think. I can read. Oh no, it's just been a tidy performance in the field from Didsbury without getting regular breakthroughs, but they've kept the scoring rate in check. And that third wicket now with the set batsman Kieran Mayer out will give them a real lift. As we've got Rohan Luthra coming in number 5. Facing Steve Green will be 2 right-handers to bowl at now. Will be just settle around the wicket, and Didsbury will want another one quickly to really give them some momentum. Oh gosh, they nearly got one there. That squirted away off the edge. I think he was looking through mid-wicket. Squirted away off the edge just past the slip, and it's a couple of runs to get Rowan Luther away. Not the most convincing start. You can see him practicing the shot he meant to play, but runs is runs. So he's away with 2. And he's going to add another one now, much more convincing shot. Just pushed down the ground easily for a single. Bringing everybody in this offside now. So Noah Cross has just come in from the boundaries into the fielding circle now for Matt Burns. Last ball of this 31st over. He pushes it away leg side, and will only be 1, I think. Yep. Canderson fields. So breakthrough for Didsbury in that 31st over. 5 off it in total. You can see that fine third wicket partnership of 62 just come to an end. With 9 overs remaining. Still 7 wickets in hand, although a new batsman in, so still be wanting to be nudging 200. 6 and overs from here. I'll run a ball from here, it'll take them to 180. Shall still be a challenging total, but I think we'd want more batting first. Certainly to be in this position with 9 overs remaining, still 7 wickets in hand, and a set batsman in. Matt Burns on 40, facing Thomas McGowan's final over. So it will be, he's going to start it with a single down to long on. Yeah, 1 for 20, Tom McGowan has been very, very impressive. Smart caught and bowled off Fergus McKenna earlier, and has looked right at home in this first 11. New batsman, or newish batsman to bowl at now, Rowan Luthra. Just having a look round. Long off, long on, deep mid wicket, and then back on the cover boundary. Everybody else in. Oh, and that's past the edge. There's a confident appeal for a catch, but bowler and wicketkeeper went up. Umpire Chris Hyde not convinced at all, so it's not out. That's a nice one past the edge there. This has been a fine spell from Tom McGowan. 2 balls left in it. He's only been hit to the boundary once. And the wicket. Oh, and that's past the edge again. There's a shout this time from the mid-wicket fielder. Rather optimistic. So last ball of Tom McGowan's spell. And it's just defended carefully. 1 off the over, and what a terrific effort that's been from the young man. 8 overs, 1 made, 1 for 20. Just 1 boundary off him. Excellent spell. And you can see there the Widnes card. And 32 overs is the key number there now, because we're going to get another signal from umpire Graham Pugh. We should anyway. That the final power play is starting. Is he going to do that? Has he recalled it? We're just wondering. Yes, there he goes. Well done, Graham. He's not likely to forget. Good umpire Graham. See his arm whirling around there. So now Didsbury can have up to 5 out of the 30-yard circle. So minimum 4 in other words. And where's the 4th? There. Oh, he's coming at short fine leg. I was going to say 3 on the offside at deep backward point, deep gully, and cover, short cover for Steve Green, and short fine leg of the men in, and everybody else is out, long off, long on, deep mid wicket, deep backward square leg, and cover on the boundary. So where you'd pretty orthodox field for this stage of the game, where you'd expect. And that's why there's an easy run out there for Matt Burns. But they'll want to start picking up more than singles. Widnes. That's 6 at the start of the 29th over, the last time the ball crossed the boundary. So aware of that. At the moment it's just ones is all I can manage. Quite right from Didsbury. The batting side need to take some risks if they want to find a boundary. They're not going to get, or shouldn't be getting, hit me balls. And Steve Green gives very few of those away. That's nudged away for a single. Burns on to 43. That's batted very well for his side. To be looking to take it, that's a quicker one, and you could see Rowan Luther hurried into the shot there and surprised by it, but got behind it, defended it out. Anderson, the Didsbury camp, just shouting some instructions before retreating back to the deep mid-wicket boundary with his last ball, and that's down the leg side. That's going to be wided. Yep, saw the signal coming from umpire Graham Pugh, so I have to do that one again. Bonus for Widnes. Wides going to double figures for Didsbury. 10 wide now, gentlemen. But that's a dot to finish a tidy over. 3 runs on the wide from it from Steve Green. He's through 7 overs now, 1 for 34. You'll see him there with that 6-man Didsbury attack. And we'll have to have a change from the other end now, so we're going to have Dan Ward back. It's 2 overs for young Dan earlier. Did okay, 2 overs for 11. No real dramas in there. I think he did okay. His first ball for their first 11. So another left arm round spinner. And Didsbury just need to organise this so they've got 3 in. Sam Yount is dropping out and he's informed the captain, so we need probably short fine legging, I would think, Nick. He's got cover, extra cover. Oh yeah. No, he's going to... Yeah, there's nobody behind, sorry, I was just looking at there, so... So, we've got 1 off the first ball for Matt Burns.
Sorry. I probably should have got it there.
Nicely nudged away. Now there might be a couple here for Rowan Luthra, and there should be an easy 2. Sam Yount had to come round. So that's a good piece of placement from the batsman. 2 runs. Sam Yount's having to come round from deep, backward square leg. Just brightening up a little bit here at Didsbury. And that's just the same sort of area this time, but just a single this time. For Rohan Luthra, 7. And he's just had 1 or 2 little glitches with his computer. Just straightening that out as Dan Ward comes into Matt Burns, and he's gone for the sweep. And again, that'll probably be a 2. Nobody behind, so you can see Charlie Lowen has to sprint off. But no, actually, well done, the wicket keeper. He's got there and just kept it to 1. In fact, it's even a leg bye. That's why it didn't go so far. First leg bye of the match. Yep, that's fine. And again, another single. So working the ball around nicely, the Widnes batsman here. That's what they need to do. And that's over, gentlemen. Yep. So, not a bad over for Widnes. 6 runs from it. I'm telling you. So yeah, everything's fine in the scoreboard. So there's the run rate. It's flatlining at 4s. As Dan Ward's father walks past the box. Be very pleased seeing his son having a bowl. Steve Green's final over. And again, there's been a real, as you'd expect, key point of the Didsbury attack. Very tidy spell. Plenty of dots. Matt Burns took him on here for that big 6, of course, but that's fair enough. As we're saying, the batsmen are going to have to take risks to find a boundary, and the overs are starting to disappear rather quickly now. It's 5.5 left. Rowan Luthra, there's just 4 dots in this over so far. single this time, but anyways, Didsbury won't be too troubled by that. Just one of 5 balls of this 35th over. So Matt Burns, what can he do? He's got to try and keep the strike, I think. Big gaps there on that leg side. Yep, he's got one. And that ends Steve Green's spell, a super spell from him. 1 for 36 from 8 overs, very tidy indeed. Super job. He's done as usual, and you see there the runs just tailing off a little bit. The run rate has dipped under 4 now for Widnes, and we're in these last 5 overs, not found a boundary in 6 overs. And you'd think they want to target the young left arm spinner Dan Ward. Matt Burns will certainly get that in mind, but he's got 5 boundary fielders, so let's see which way he decides to go here. Just possibly caught in 2 minds there, and in the end just defends it out to cover. Big gaps down the ground, but men on the boundary, so have to be careful if you're hitting straight. And he's gone, but that's up in the air now. Noah Crows and Liam Booth are coming round. Liam Booth with the injured hand, even though he's done it, he's caught it though. It's a brilliant catch. Even though he's hurt his hand, Liam Booth, he was still underneath that. Caught it very, very well. And Matt Burns, very good innings, comes to an end, and really he had to do that. He was trying, as we said, they were going to have to take risks to find a boundary. The scoring rate has really dipped down, and just didn't quite get hold of it. He skied it more, not quite the full face. So he's out for 45. Fine innings from him. 70 balls, 1 6 and 4 4s. Hopefully he should get a good round of applause from his Widnes teammates who are just coming round as well. Yes, yeah, just hear that there. I thought he'd got better than that. He deserved better than that. It was a fine innings from him. Alex Curlett, the new batsman, he'll be the non-striker though. The batsman crossed, so Lohan Ruther will be on strike. But Didsbury delighted, and a first wicket for Dan Ward. Just saying that the batsmen were going to have to take risks to find a boundary. The scoring rate was dipping, and Matt Burns timing not quite right. That's a good catch from Liam Booth. He had some distance to cover from long on to come round. He's looking at his hand, hurt his hand earlier in the game, but still a fine catch from him. So we've got Ryan Luther on strike. The batsman crossed. Just 1 run that will be, gentlemen. Don't take 2 there. Goodness no. Apologies for any invective you may have heard coming from my fellow scorer. He's fine, and he's sorted out there. Across the batsman, there we go. Yeah, so Alex Curlett's first ball, and he's away straight away, and that'll only be 1. Well, it should only be 1 anyway. No, gentlemen, yeah, just a 1 run there again. Sam Yards round very quickly. Good fast throw into the keeper. Just a single. 141 for 4. 2 balls left of this 36th over. And that's
a lot of running.
Nice shot from Ryan Luther. That should be a couple. Just 2, but 2 is good result. Was a nice delicate little dab. No fielders behind the bat, so nice end to the over for them. 4 off the over, but the wicket, big wicket of Matt Burns, the set batsman. And Didsbury very pleased indeed with this situation. 4 overs left, 143 for 4 as Nick Anderson, the captain, returns to the attack. He's got, what, 2 overs left. Hello, Rob. Yeah, good. Chatting with one of our coaches here, Abnawaz, playing his cricket at Brooklands this year, but a very popular figure here, and hopefully we'll see him back. So back to the game in hand anyway. Nick Anderson looking around. His 7th over, and he's bowling to Alex Curlett. Good swing, but Sam Leach in behind that at cover. I'll be disappointed, Alex Curlett. I think he got a hold of a fair bit of that. Straight at the extra cover fielder, Sam Leach. Bravely behind it, so there's just 4 in the circle. Tim Hughes looks like he's practicing a golf shot there. At mid-on. Short fine leg and backward point in the circle. Everyone else out, and that's one of the men will be out. That's a 3rd man. Sam Youds coming in. He's done a lot of good fielding today, Sam. That's him with the ball in hand. We'll see. Rowan Luther just checking guard. Just looking at my sheets here. So where were we at? A nice shot from Rowan Luther, and he's found the boundary, and that is a much needed boundary from Widnes' perspective. That's the first one in nearly 7 overs. And the first one in this last 10, first one in this power play, but it's a good shot from him. 16 now to Rowan Luther. Up in the air, should be. Oh, it's going to drop short of Noah Cross. I thought it was going a bit quicker than that. It's a single in the end. And a controlled shot from Lone Luther, understandable at this stage, but I thought it was going to go straight to the fielder at one stage, but no, well short of the man coming in off the sweeper boundary. And that's a nice plump again from Alex Curlett, who's found the man again. You see the shout and the direct hit from Tim Hughes at mid-on. By Graham Pugh in a good position to say not out. Let's just go back there, because that was one, wasn't it? Yeah. He hit out very sweetly again, Alex Curlett. Straight to Tim Hughes, who threw and hit the stumps, but I think he was safely home. So 7 off that over. A bit more encouragement for Widnes as the 150 comes up. 3 overs remaining though. And you'll see they've stalled a little after 30, 121, so not quite added 30 runs in 7 overs yet. This last 7, and we are going to see Liam Booth. He's got 2 overs left. We did wonder whether we would see him again after he injured his hand, and he's taken a fine catch in the outfield. So yeah, it will be Liam Booth from that far end, the Fletcher Moss end. 6 overs, 1 for 19 early, bowled very well. Didsbury look like they're going to be finished in good time here as well, which is encouraging. The spinners have made a big difference to the over 8. Let's just see, 1, 2, 3, has he got? He's just got 4 out, Liam Booth. He must have 5, because there's yes, that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 5 out, 4 in. Liam Booth. Big gaps there through the leg side. So singles anywhere the batsmen want them. There's only 1 there. Straight to the fielder, Noah Crows, so only 1. Didsbury concede those quite happily. Deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket. Long on, there's a bit more orthodox and long off, and a cover on the boundary. Short fine leg, backward point, extra cover, and short 3rd man. So in huge gaps in front of the wicket. But as we said with Matt Burns, they're going to have to take a few risks to try and find the boundary. Single there for Luther. Curlett back on strike. He's hitting the ball very well, I must say. It's been going around out the middle, but he's been finding the fielder. And 4 singles for him so far. Again, a big shot there. He's clumped that down the ground. I don't know, he's actually mishit that, and as a result, we may get 2. Oh, no, he's got to go back, and a direct hit would have had him. Tim Hughes, again, hands on the head. Last over he hit. Now that one there, I think we'd see from here that he would have been well out, Alex Curlett. It was his partner's call. He kind of went off prematurely. Anyway, he survived is the point for Widnes. That's a single, 153 for 4. Probably have quite a bit more of that in his last few overs. No point going in with wickets in hand, I don't think. Oh, and that's gone right the way through. I think that's missed has that missed everything? No, it's 4 runs. It's come off the edge. You can't quite see from our angle, but that's one of those that's going to happen at this stage. The false shots tending to be better rewarded than the good shots, as it were, that find the fielders. So first boundary for Alex Curlett. He's been hitting the ball well enough. That's his streakiest shot, but gets him the most reward. To 9. 1 ball left of this 38th over. 158 for 4. He's missed it. Yeah, so there we are. That's that over done. 8 off it. And 2 overs just now remaining for Widnes to lift this score as much as they can. You can see all the batsmen have got starts, got in. Lost the 4 in the 38 overs. But, what do you think's realistic, Andy, from here last couple of overs? Where are you going to go? What do you think? Well, Andy, my fellow scorer from Widnes, Andy Burns, is going to settle for 170. That's a run a ball from here. Nick Anderson's going to bowl his penultimate over, his last. On for 38 for him so far. Rowan Luthra on strike. That's nicely guarded away, and he's found the boundary. 4 runs, that's nicely guarded away. Stylish shot from Rowan Luthra. That's 2 boundaries for him now. To the 20s. Just a bit of thinking to do for Nick Anderson. Not too much width there, and Liam Booth at a short third man. Cut that off. Not out. He's appealed long and hard, Nick Anderson, but Graham Pugh says no, leg by, and you can see Nick Anderson looks distraught, not getting the decision, but it's a leg by on the total. Certainly very full, but again, umpire thinking it was going to miss, so that's all that matters. We're on the Widnes total. 10 balls remaining. Nicely hit, but straight to Sam Leach. You probably heard the loud cry of no. Alex Curlett. That's a nice flat down the ground, and you can hear the acclaim. That's another boundary. Not a particularly orthodox shot from Alex Curlett. It was a sort of a straight pull, but it dissected long off and long on. And second boundary of the over. 7th boundary Nick Anderson has conceded, so I'll not be happy with that. well played. Let's curl it. It's swinging again nicely, and that's what I mean. That's a really nice shot, but just gets in one run straight to the fielder. 168, so you're 170, Andy. Didn't know they had psychology in Widnes. Do they have that there? I don't know if I'd reached that part of the world yet, but there we are. Last ball of this penultimate over, Nick Anderson's final ball, and that's not for correction. Rowan Luthra has hit it all the way. I was just looking to see where it had gone. Rohan Luthra hits Nick Anderson's final ball for 6, and that is a great over for Widnes. We've had 16 from it. By far and away the best over of the innings. You see the damage that's done to Nick Anderson's figures. Another 53 for him from 8. And that's taken Widnes past that 170 that Andy Burns was looking at, and pushed the rate back up to 4.5 more or less. And that was a very good over for Widnes. The best of the innings, but just very timely as well. It's given him a bit of momentum. 35 these two have added now off just more or less. That's 4 overs, isn't it, with the wides? So yeah, 35 off 4 overs. And so the momentum with Widnes is this last over. It's going to be bowled by Liam Booth. Bowling to Alex Curlett. It's been hitting hard. It's gone right up in the air. Nick Anderson is underneath it. It's swirling away and he's dropped it. And the batsmen have run 2 as a result. Now he got both hands to it, Nick Anderson, but the breeze has got up a little bit. It was swirling around. He was having to sort of skid dive towards the ball, and as a result the catch went down. So instead of being a dot, it's 2 runs. Could be really important. Alex Curlett back on strike. 2 to his name. 176. And, it should only be 1, but they might go for. They're going to go for 2. It's a misfield again at the far end. Tim Hughes just took his eye off it. Rohan Luthra alert to it, running to the danger end. So successive 2s, and they'll be blowing a bit, the batsman. I think I've been needing a lie down after this. After that, Andy. So these young men can keep powering on. It's been a good last few balls for Widnes. 178. That's it nice and cleanly, and that's gone for 6. That's gone on the full. Yeah, it's gone for 6. Umpire Chris Hyde, he couldn't quite see, but Alex Curlett's middled that. This is a super little cameo from him now. 24 off just 14 balls. It didn't go a long way over the boundary because it is a big hit, that one, but nonetheless it was comfortably over. Went quite low. So let's start 10 off the first 3 balls of this over, 16 off the last, so 26 off the last 9 balls. Oh, and a relieved Booth, a relieved Didsbury a dot ball. Just to calm things down momentarily. So yes, a good little burst is for Widnes. Might be able to do the wind on the effects, Mike, as well. It's really started blowing around again. The trees that have been still really indicating a fair breeze going around now. Anyway, 2 balls to go. It's hit cleanly, should just be 1. Tim Hughes firmly behind that this time, yet no mistaking that, so just a single. So 185, last ball of the innings. That's been a bright ending for Widnes. 27 of these last 1.5 overs, with this last ball to come. And it should be 2 at least here. They've got to go for 2. Alex Curlett set straight up. It's gone for 4, in fact. It's evaded the fielder, coming round from long off, beg your pardon, to go for 4. And that's an excellent end to that innings for Widnes. 189 for 4. 31 coming off the last 2 overs has given them a real boost. That 50 partnership came up as well with that 4, as you can see. Just 30 deliveries, so 5 overs, a 50 partnership. These 2 batsmen have done really well for their side. Rowan Luther 33 not out of 22, and Alex Gill at 25 not out of just 16 balls. And they get a well-deserved round of applause. They've really given their team a lift with that effort there. You can see that scorecard, a good solid effort from Widnes. 189 for 4 in 40 overs, so Didsbury lead 190 at just over 4.7 per over when they bat. No batsman going past 50, but some good solid contributions, and you can see the impact those last 2 overs had. 31 coming off the last 2, which has really spoilt it for the home side for Didsbury, and they've now got a real target to chase here. 190 they'll require. The bowling figures will come up in a short while. You can have a look at the rest of the stats as we go for our break, and we'll be back in about half an hour to see how Didsbury get on in pursuit of that 190.
Done.